Welcome to Ethiopia Today.
Maintaining peace and unity of Ethiopia rests on this generation. President Sahle-Work Zewde stressed that this generation shoulders great responsibility to maintain the sovereignty, peace and unity of the nation that it has inherited from patriotic forefathers and mothers, Int'l reported. The 81st Victory Day of Ethiopia was marked yesterday at the Victory Monument in Addis Ababa in the presence of government officials including President Sahle-Work Zewde, invited guests, ambassadors, and residents of Addis Ababa. In her keynote speech, President Sahle-Work Zewde said the Victory Day marked the defeat of the invading Italian fascist forces by the sacrifices Ethiopian patriotic forefathers and mothers made 81 years ago. The victory demonstrates that Ethiopians are committed to paying sacrifices for their motherland. They are hopeful and see light at the end of the tunnel, and they also march together in the time of hardship. It is the responsibility of this generation to hand over a peaceful country to the next generation, the president said, adding the victories made over battles need to be repeated in other fields such as economy, science, and technology among others. Major General Int'l Wolde, Indoctrination Director General at the Ministry of Defense Force on his part said patriotism is the major characteristics and value system of Ethiopians, from which the Ethiopian National Defense Forces have come out and demonstrated heroic deeds and patriotism in battlefields throughout history in safeguarding the territorial integrity and unity of Ethiopia. Major General Int'l added that following the footsteps of patriotic forefathers, the Defense Force has made tremendous sacrifice to maintain the peace and stability of the country. The Defense Force will continue working hard to safeguard the unity, peace and stability of the country along with the people of Ethiopia. Ethiopian Patriots Association President Lij Daniel Jati Mesfin on his part said the Victory Day marks the heroic deeds of Ethiopian patriots in successfully resisting and defeating the Italian fascist forces, who were armed with modern weapons. He urged the young generation to follow the footsteps and achieve the causes of fallen forefathers by preserving this great country. The youth must safeguard their motherland and defending those forces who are bent on destabilizing the country, Lij Daniel pointed out. Patriots' Victory Day is a day that commemorates the end of the 5 years Italian occupation culminated on May 5, 1941. INSA says cyber attack on GERD and financial institutions foiled. Dr. Shumati Giza, Director General of Information Network Security Agency, INSA said that the agency has thwarted planned cyber attacks targeting the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD and major financial institutions according to Addis Standard Report. The failed cyber attacks include attempts to impede the works of the GERD by targeting 37,000 interlinked computers used by financial institutions according to the Director General. Dr. Shumati told state media that an entity that he didn't name, but says was supported by countries that do not want the peace and growth of Ethiopia, was working to sabotage the successful construction of the GERD by waging a cyber war operation called Black Pyramid War. The Director General cautioned that cyber attacks against the GERD might increase going forward, and that robust cyber security was being implemented to protect both the construction and administration of works of the mega dam. If cyber attacks targeting financial institutions succeeded, the consequences would be far-reaching for the financial establishments and the whole country, he said, and advised financial institutions to put in place all necessary countermeasures against such attacks. World Health Organization. New estimates from the World Health Organization (WHO) show that the full death toll associated directly or indirectly with the COVID-19 pandemic, described as excess mortality between the 1st of January 2020 and the 31st of December 2021 was approximately 14.9 million, ranged 13.3 million to 16.6 million. These sobering data not only point to the impact of the pandemic, but also to the need for all countries to invest in more resilient health systems that can sustain essential health services during crises, including stronger health information systems, said Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, WHO Director General. WHO is committed to working with all countries to strengthen their health information systems to generate better data for better decisions and better outcomes. Excess mortality is calculated as the difference between the number of deaths that have occurred and the number that would be expected in the absence of the pandemic based on data from earlier years. Excess mortality includes deaths associated with COVID-19 directly, due to the disease, or indirectly, due to the pandemic's impact on health systems and society. Deaths linked indirectly to COVID-19 are attributable to other health conditions for which people were unable to access prevention and treatment because health systems were overburdened by the pandemic. The estimated number of excess deaths can be influenced also by deaths averted during the pandemic due to lower risks of certain events like motor vehicle accidents or occupational injuries. Most of the excess deaths, 84%, are concentrated in Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Some 68% of excess deaths are concentrated in just 10 countries globally. Middle-income countries account for 81% of the 14.9 million excess deaths, 53% in lower middle-income countries, and 28% in upper middle-income countries over the 24-month period, with high-income and low-income countries each accounting for 15% and 4% respectively. The estimates for a 24-month period from 2020 and 2021 include a breakdown of excess mortality by age and sex. They confirm that the global death toll was higher for men than for women, 57% male, 43% female, and higher among older adults. The absolute count of the excess deaths is affected by the population size. The number of excess deaths per 100,000 gives a more objective picture of the pandemic than reported COVID-19 mortality data. Measurement of excess mortality is an essential component to understand the impact of the pandemic. Shifts in mortality trends provide decision makers information to guide policies to reduce mortality and effectively prevent future crises. Because of limited investments in data systems in many countries, the true extent of excess mortality often remains hidden, said Dr. Samira Asmat, Assistant Director General for Data Analytics and Delivery at WHO. These new estimates use the best available data and have been produced using a robust methodology and a completely transparent approach. Data is the foundation of our work every day to promote health, keep the world safe, and serve the vulnerable. We know where the data gaps are, and we must collectively intensify our support to countries so that every country has the capability to track outbreaks in real time, ensure delivery of essential health services, and safeguard population health, said Dr. Ibrahima Sosfal, Assistant Director General for Emergency Response. The production of these estimates is a result of a global collaboration supported by the work of the Technical Advisory Group for COVID-19 Mortality Assessment and Country Consultations. This group, convened jointly by the WHO and the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs UNDSA, consists of many of the world's leading experts who developed an innovative methodology to generate comparable mortality estimates even where data are incomplete or unavailable. This methodology has been invaluable as many countries still lack capacity for reliable mortality surveillance and therefore do not collect and generate the data needed to calculate excess mortality. Using the publicly available methodology, countries can use their own data to generate or update their own estimate. The United Nations system is working together to deliver an authoritative assessment of the global toll of lives lost from the pandemic. This work is an important part of UNDSA's ongoing collaboration with WHO and other partners to improve global mortality estimates, said Mr. Liu Zhenmin, United Nations Under-Secretary General for Economic and Social Affairs. Mr. Stefan Schweinfest, Director of the Statistics Division of UNDSA, added, "Data deficiencies make it difficult to assess the true scope of a crisis, with serious consequences for people's lives." The pandemic has been a stark reminder of the need for better coordination of data systems within countries, and for increased international support for building better systems, including for the registration of deaths and other vital events. Here's the end of our presentation. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bar so that you won't miss any of our exciting videos. Don't be the only one to enjoy the video. Share it with your loved ones too. Many thanks.